Hello, everybody. This is National Master Steve Colding, or it's me, Mr. C, and I'm here to show you how to do chess. Okay, now we're gonna welcome to our new format and welcome to our new way of doing it. Before I used to just play people simultaneous online and play, and yes, we may have a little bit of that, but we cut the time down. We cut the time down to 1 hour, and so we won't be doing any simultaneouses because they take way longer than an hour. Okay, and let's see, what else are we going to do? Today we are going to do deal with our lesson. We're going to continue with our lesson as far as if you've been following our series, we've been doing a lesson on, let's see, the elements in the game of chess. That's right, the elements in the game of chess. Okay, and so we might as well just continue on to that. We're going to go right into the elements in the game of chess in today's chess lesson. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so here we are, and now we're going to deal with our chess lesson, and here we go. Hi everybody, it's me, Mr. C, and today's subject will be harmony in chess.
So much fun, you'll split a red. Summer, winter, fall, we'll checkmate them all with a Chess for Children game.
Chess for Children. We make children smarter.
Please welcome author, lecturer, chess coach, and CEO of Chess for Children, National Master Steve Colding.
Hi, my name is Steve Colding from Chess for Children. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about chess, chess openings, chess tactics, and all chess-related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Well, hi everybody. How you doing? Welcome, viewers. Thank you for coming. You are most gracious to be here. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me. Okay, and today we are continuing, I think it's lesson 5 on harmony in chess. Okay, so we're going to talk about, now we talked about the 7 elements in the game of chess, and let's review them just to make sure we know what they are. The 7 elements in the game of chess are, okay, let me get this out of the way here. Okay, the 7 elements in the game of chess are space, time, force, harmony, position, dynamics, and psychology. We already dealt with space, time, force, and position. We just touched on position. We didn't get really in depth, but we did look at one of the positional ways to attack. And today we're going to deal with harmony. Harmony is how well the pieces work together. Okay, so we're going to deal with harmony right now. And let's see. Okay, we're going to deal with harmony. And let's see let me just get this stuff done. Okay. Harmony in chess. Okay. Okay, now the 7 elements, that's what I gotta get rid of. Now we're gonna deal with harmony in chess. Okay, and the first thing we're gonna talk about is, let's see, harmony 2. Oh, we gotta get rid of harmony 1 first. Okay, harmony 2. Okay, and we're gonna bring harmony 2. Well, anyway, harmony 2. And what we're going to do, let me make this a little bigger. Harmony 2. In order to achieve harmony in chess, there are some things which we shouldn't do. And here is a little quick list. By no means is this list complete, but this list is a good one just to start out with and then start understanding how to get our pieces working together. Number 1, don't block your pieces. Number 2, bishops before knights. Number 3, don't attack when on the defensive. Number 4, break pins when you can. Number 5, don't move a piece more than once. Okay? The opening is a race to get your pieces out as fast as possible. And if you move a piece more than once, you'll fall behind in the race. And another thing is, exchanging is not developing. Don't exchange pieces just to exchange them, because you will lose time in the opening and again fall behind in the race. Now, all of these are geared for you not to fall behind in the race. 1, don't block your pieces, because if you block your pieces, you'll have to unblock them and you'll lose time in the race. Bishops before knights. We know where the knights belong, so we don't have to spend a lot of time like that. They don't belong blocking our bishops. Number 3, don't attack when on the defensive. Okay? Only if you think the attack is winning. Okay? If only the only the attacker wins. But if you are on the defensive and your opponent is pushing you back, according to one of Steinnitz's rules, you must make concessions. You must make concessions. Number 4, don't stay in the pin. Break the pin whenever you see. A pin is when the piece can't move. Don't leave it there. It's a sitting duck. We don't leave pins because pins can be attacked. If a pin is attacked by a pawn, guess what? And that piece can't move. That pawn is going to take that piece. And don't move a piece more than once. Okay, so these are a pretty good guideline on what not to do. And here, now we're going to go to our game. And feel free to say, hi viewers, how you doing? My name's Mr. C. And you can just ask any question if you want. Don't worry, I don't bite. You can ask questions. See how nice and friendly my little cartoon version of me is? Yeah, I'm friendly, so you can ask me any question you want. But the game we chose, you probably know this game, but I think it epitomizes what to do and what not to do when you're trying to achieve a harmonious game. And this is called the Opera Box game. It's one of the most famous games in chess, and we're going to look over and see it from the viewpoint of harmony, how Morphy develops. Morphy is playing 2 people, the Duke of Brunswick and Count Isouard, and they both are playing him, and it's played in an opera at the time. I think it was the Barber of Seville. I could be wrong, though. But in any case, Morphy's trying to watch the opera, and these 2 guys are playing him and insisting on the game. And it caused such a ruckus, the game, that the opera actually stopped. And the guy singing said, "What's going on up there? What's going on up there?" Imagine that. He broke the third the third rule. Okay, so without a doubt, we're going to look at this game, and we're going to start now. Okay, and first move e4, e5, knight to f3. We're bringing out the knight, and we're developing with the attack. We're attacking the pawn. Now, he played d6. Now, since he played d6, he is not... he did not bring out a piece. Now, this is the Philidor defense. And Philidor actually analyzed this in his book Analysis. So they're both probably aware of this game. It's a solid game. It's not a bad game. But the problem with that is that when you play this move, white has out 1 piece and black has out none. And whenever you have out more pieces than your opponent, as we learned from dealing with time in the opening, when you have more pieces out than your opponent. And here he has only one, but it still applies. He has one piece out and his opponent doesn't have out. Does anybody know what to do? What move to do right here? Okay, the idea is to play d4. Now we open the position. And why is this so good? Well, first of all, we attack e5. Okay, that's a good thing. We attack e5 twice. And another thing is that now Morphy doesn't have to move any more pawns to develop his pieces. 3, Morphy's attacking now. He's forcing black to make a decision. And the move that both players of the black decided to do was play bishop to g4. Now, this breaks the rule of knights before bishops. He should have played knight to d7 as a move. And even sacrificing the pawn is a move. But I think it's rather speculative. I don't think that move is so good. Knight c6 is not that good a move because it allows a pin. But nevertheless, Morphy is attacking because of this. And Morphy is attacking because of this. And Morphy is attacking because of this, and he's attacking the square e5. Now, they probably thought that pawn takes pawn here, pawn takes pawn, and the move Morphy did. This is the actual move Morphy did. But they probably thought it couldn't happen, and let's go back. And they play bishop takes knight. But they probably initially thought that pawn takes pawn. And if Morphy takes this pawn, well, then queen takes queen is checkmate. How naive and simple. Sir, you are too simple. This is not how Morphy planned it. Morphy said, wait a minute. I'm going to take your queen first. And now I'm going to take the pawn, and I'm a pawn up, and I'm attacking the bishop, and the bishop has to move back here, so that you don't lose the exchange by knight takes. So black has lost the right to castle. He's lost the pawn. And so would be a very easy game. So the Duke and the Count saw that. And what they did was they took the knight, as I explained. Okay, so bishop takes knight. But exchanging is not developing. When you exchange off a piece, you basically give out a piece. And look, even though Morphy now brings out a piece to replace that piece. So now again, he has one move up. Okay, he has one piece out and his opponent doesn't. So they take back their pawn, and now Morphy makes a move, which threatens checkmate. Does anybody see the move that threatens checkmate? No one sees the move? Okay, the move that threatens checkmate is bishop to c4. And the name of this checkmate is called Scholar's Mate because it's one of the first checkmates people learn as they go in. So it's called Scholar's Mate in a sarcastic sort of way. It's not a good thing to do Scholar's Mate. So here, knight to f6. Okay. The problem with knight to f6 is that Morphy's next move sets up a battery. And a battery is when one piece pushes pressure into another piece. Now here, right here, Morphy plays the battery. Does anybody see what the battery is? A battery is very, very good for setting up pieces and pushing power into another piece. Does anybody see the battery? No? The battery is queen to b3. And here, this attacks the square b7, and more importantly, the square f7. So right here, Morphy, in effect, has probably won a pawn. Now, which is more important, the square b7 or the square f7? Well, this should be pretty easy. It's the square f7 because, let's say, and this is let's say he played b6 to protect the pawn. Then bishop takes f7, king up, and queen to e6 is made. Okay, so this is what he has to look out for. That's the most important thing. Well, how can he protect that pawn? Well, he can protect it two different ways. He can play queen e7 or queen d7. The Count and the Duke didn't choose queen d7, and rightly so, because if they would have chose queen d7, Morphy could play queen takes here, and queen takes b7, attacking the rook. And if they play here, do you see what move Morphy and the Count, what Morphy would do to the Count? No? Okay, the move would be the queen and the king are along the same line. So bishop to b5 would win the queen. By the way, this kind of move right here, queen c6, is actually protecting the rook. And we call that an X-ray. An X-ray. So, let's go back. Let's go. We're going to knight f6, queen b3. And now the move is queen e7. And give me a second here while I promote this variation. Make the variation more important. Queen e7. And now Morphy can take the pawn. And yes, taking the pawn would be pretty good. But Black has set up a battery. If Morphy took the pawn, how would Black save his rook? Does anybody see how Black would save his rook? Well, Morphy has set up a battery. Not Morphy, the Count and Duke have set up a battery of their own. The queen goes to e7, and the bishop is now pushing power into the queen. So the move would be here. Okay, let me go back. The move would be queen to b4 check. And then Morphy, of course, has to exchange that off, and bishop takes. And even though he's a pawn up, he could probably maintain the pawn. But at least he has, at least it's better, and it's an endgame, and the game's going to go on a long time. And Morphy probably didn't want that because he's looking at the opera. He wants to finish the opera. Remember, he's probably annoyed at the Count and the Duke of playing this game. But he was too much of a gentleman to probably say so. So he wants to win the game fast so that he can watch the opera. Okay, he loved the opera, so he wants to play it to watch it. So queen to b7 is not really the best move. And Morphy demonstrates this by playing knight to c6. Now he's threatening queen to b7. And there's no, I'm sorry, not knight to c6, knight to c3. He brings the knight out. And development is always the important thing. And this emphasizes why queen e7, wasn't a great move. Queen e7 wasn't a great move because it blocks the bishop. So the queen is now blocking the bishop, and we're taking advantage of it. And the pawn is now being attacked. And there is no way to protect it if that pawn is taken. Now, mind you could play knight to d7, but then that would lose at least 2 pawns with queen takes, rook moves, and queen takes the other pawn. Okay, so let's see. Let me promote this variation. Okay, and now. So they Count and the Duke have to protect the pawn, and they play c6. And now Morphy brings out his other piece and plays bishop to g. Now let's count the pieces. White has out 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Black has out 2 pieces. But one of the pieces is blocking and has to stay defensive on the f7 square. And the other piece is pinned. But look at Morphy's pieces. They all are working completely together. And Morphy can castle kingside, queenside, whichever he wants, which is going to happen next. And he'll be even further. Even the knight coming to b7 again would lose 2 pawns with queen takes. And then probably this pawn, c6, would be taken next. Okay, so really Count and the Duke are already in this situation. So what to do in this situation? You have to try to hunker down. You have to try to hunker down, and maybe b6 is the move. By the way, computers, this game is very old. And computers have actually found an improvement. When they count in the Duke play Queen e7, the improvement in the game is bishop takes, because when take, you take here. Okay, and this is supposedly supposed to be better. I mean, there's a few more complications in which I'll let you discover yourself. But this is supposed to be much more. Boy, we are really having noise in this thing today. Okay, now, so let's go back. Bishop g5. And now the count and the Duke, rather than hunkering down and playing a move like b6. Again, not a great move because, hey, Morphy is probably in the middle game after he castles either side. He's in the middle game with almost complete development. And they're still trying to bring out their pieces. But they must keep the position blocked, or else Morphy will come out. Morphy will come out and get more stuff going. Okay. Now, let's see. Right here. The move is the Count and the Duke now are probably noticing how much trouble they're having. I mean, they should play h6 is funny because they can, if they try h6, bishop takes, and queen can't take because of here, and this side will be smashed up, the king side will be smashed up. So the only move that I see that can help continue the game is maybe b6. Okay, b6, and then try to follow it up with knight on b to d7. But Lord knows what Morphy would do. Okay, he might come up with some brilliant type answer. But b6 seems to be another concession to try to hunker down the piece. Okay, now, let's see, right here. We have, let me look. We have anybody talking to me. Hi, guys. How you saying? Nobody saying anything? Okay, so here the Count and the Duke mess up really badly. They give Morphy a lever. They give him a way in. And remember, you have to hunker down, not try to attack. b5. They attack the bishop, saying, okay, now you have to move the bishop. Then I can bring the knight out. And the pawn is not protected. But however, when you have more pieces out, what you want to do is open the position. And here, when they did that, they gave Morphy an opportunity. And he probably analyzed this and realized that this was very simple. Knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, check. Okay, so he has two pawns for the piece. Not really a bad, but I mean, he did he sacrifice anything? I don't think he sacrificed anything. So 2 pawns for a piece, not bad, and the attack, and knight to b7. Now look, now he is caught up, it's parity, 1, 2, 3 pieces, but one can't move, another can't move. This is, oh, by the way, this is a relative pin because he can move it, but he'll lose something big. This is an absolute pin that he can't move. And whenever we have a pin, what do? We attack it again. And how can we attack again? By bringing the rook into the game. And so Morphy brings the rook so they can attack the knight. And the knight is now attacked because if bishop takes, knight can't take because the bishop will take the queen. And rook can't take, queen can't take because the rook will take the queen. So in any case, he now must defend this again. So rook goes here to d8. And now, Whenever you see a pin, what do? And now Morphy does a combination, which was well known at the time, called transferring the pin. So because this pin is protected enough, we need to add more pressure. So how do we add more pressure? Not by rook to d2 and rook over, because that would take too long. So we play rook takes d7. Morphy plays that. And when rook takes, now he brings his last rook into the game. And now bishop takes, knight can't take because bishop will take queen, and queen takes, rook would take, and Morphy would be just simply winning. So now what he does is Count and the Duke play queen to e6. And Morphy now could play bishop takes. And if queen takes queen, bishop takes would be mate. But Morphy had something better in mind. He had something more, how shall we say, he had something a little flashier in mind. Okay, and we're going to look at this, and this is, let's go back in queen e6. Okay, he had something a little flashier in mind, and it's a good thing he did, because now this mate is named after him. It's named the opera box mate. And white plays bishop takes d7 and knight takes d7. And now it's mate in 2. Does anybody see the mate in 2? Does anybody see the mate in 2? No? Well, Morphy ends the game, and let's look. Queen to b8, check. Well, the king has nowhere to go, and the knight must take the queen. And now let's look. How many squares does the king have? Only one. The one he has is on e8. And what can attack e8? The rook. And the rook moves down to d8, attacks the king, and that is checkmate. And so this is one of the best examples of how harmony works in the game of chess. Let's look. Morphy had only 2 pieces, but they are coordinating perfectly together. Whereas black had many more pieces, but they lacked the harmony. They lacked 3 pieces are in the back rank, totally out of the game, and 1 piece is not having any influence into what actually is going on. So this is an example of how we do harmony in chess. Morphy's 2 pieces are most harmoniously placed, and whereas the Count and Duke's pieces are all over the board and not helping each other out. So I hope you enjoyed this example of harmony in chess. Okay, and next time we will deal with dynamics, which are tactics in chess. That'll be good. But for now, we're going to look at one of our videos, and we're going to look at a video and see how it goes. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. We call this Chess Trek. Chess Trek is one of the videos that you can get on my site, which is chessforchildren.com. You can go to my website, chessforchildren.com, and see many, many videos like this for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just go there and see it and check things out.
Chess, the ultimate adventure. These are the chess games of the Starship Emprise. Our 5-year mission to explore new positions, seek out new moves, to boldly play like no one has played before. Stardate 2275.4. The crew is in an intergalactic chess tournament. The mission is to foster intergalactic friendship through the game of chess. Unlike Earth chess, The entire crew can help offer advice. The game will be played aboard our starship, the Anprise, with me making the final decision. We expect tough matches, and the crew is looking forward to the challenge. Mr. Shock.
Captain, our first match is against the Stalions. Though brilliant tactically, they are known to try to attack ruthlessly and recklessly. They are known to employ their queen early in the effort of a quick checkmate. On the whole, a very dangerous group, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Shock. Spotty, how's our power?
We have full power, Captain. We have not lost any pieces.
Kulu?
We have the white pieces, Captain.
Great. I love playing with the white pieces.
Captain, the Stalaeans have signaled that they're ready for our first move.
Thank you, Lieutenant Ifulia. Signal that we will make our first move shortly. Shock.
Captain, I suggest we follow our standard opening.
Jones?
Darn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a chess player.
Very well. Mr. Shock, I agree. Mr. Kulu, play pawn to e4.
Aye, aye, Captain. Pawn to e4 has been played.
Captain, a transmission is coming in from the Stalaeans. They've played, in response, pawn to e5.
Shock?
The response e5 allows the Stalions freedom of movement for their queen and their dark square bishop. It is one of the best responses to our move e4. I give the odds of our victory approximate 50.476%.
Kulu, knight to f3.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Knight to f3 has been played, Captain. It detects the e5 pawn.
Fascinating. Readings indicate that the Stalions are thinking about their decision a little too long. This suggests to me that they are contemplating a surprising move.
Red alert! Shields up! Shock!
Shields up, Captain.
Transmission in, Captain. The move is queen to f6.
Mr. Shock.
Captain, analysis shows that the Stalions love to bring their queen out early. This on the face of it seems very powerful because it gets the strongest piece in the game, and also protects the e5 pawn. Bringing the queen out early is actually a superficial strategy because it exposes your strongest piece to untold of dangers. Since the queen is so powerful and valuable, she can be pushed around by other smaller.
Like the pawns, Mr. Shock?
Exactly, Ensign.
Recommendations.
I recommend bringing the knight out to the square to c3, Captain. Here, it might jump to d5 and harass the queen. It is the strong and logical reply.
I suggest, Captain, that we play pawn to open the position and make our piece more active.
Jones?
Darn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a chess player.
Why bring out the queen so early? Why do it unless they want to attack me with it? Gentlemen, your suggestions were logical and full of wisdom. However, I am going to play bishop to c4.
Captain.
Mr. Kulu, play bishop to c4.
Need I remind you that moving the bishop away from your king's side when the queen is so near can be dangerous. Also, it leaves your pawns in a vulnerable state.
But, Captain.
Bishop to c4, mister, and that's an order.
Aye, aye, Captain. Captain, the bishop has been deployed to the square c4.
Captain, are you aware that your last move has left two pawns vulnerable?
Not only am I aware of it, Mr. Shock, I am counting on it.
Captain, the Stalaeans have played their queen to the g6 square.
Captain, we have two pawns under attack.
What in blazes is going on up there?
Kulu, play our other knight to c3.
We have left a valuable pawn that was protecting our king unprotected. We will probably lose a pawn.
Sacrifice, Mr. Shock, sacrifice.
The Scalaeans have taken to the g2 pawn.
The invading queen is threatening to take our rock with check.
I can barely hold it together.
Hang on, Spotty. Quickly, Kulu. Play the rook to g1.
Aye, aye, Captain. G1. The rook is now attacking the queen because it is being protected by the knight.
Captain, they've moved their queen to the square h3.
Quickly, Kulu. Play the bishop to square f7.
With check, Captain?
Exactly. With check, Mr. Kulu.
Bishop played to f7, Captain.
The Black King is now in check.
Mr. Shock, what are they doing?
Scanning, Captain. They appear to... Yes, they are taking the bishop, Captain. They are taking the bishop.
Captain.
Yes, I know, Kulu. Play the knight to g5 and check them again.
Knight to g5.
The Stellanes resign. The Stellanes resign. The Stellanes resign. The Stellanes resign. The Stellanes resign.
But why, Captain?
Mr. Shock.
The reason for surrender, Ensign, is the Stalians will have to give up their queen. Their king and queen are attacked at the same time, or forked if you will. And since the king has to move, the queen will be captured by our knight on the next move. A brilliant strategy, Captain, devised to take away the piece that the Stalians value above all, their queen.
Yes, when they lost their queen, they lost their will to fight. But they should have developed all their pieces as a unit, and not relied too heavily on just one. Chess is a team effort, and if the team doesn't all work together as a unit, then victory can scarcely be won. Right, Jones?
Gosh darn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a philosopher.
Children kids, so much fun you'll split a rib. Summer, winter, fall, we'll checkmate them all.